Just a couple of wee sort of love poems. Here's the first one. First and last. At night, you are my final thought. In the morning, my first and only. It's a madness of memory, a foolish frenzy flood in the fast fevered blood. A sweet pain in heart and brain, a torn stone apart, burning bone and vein. A slave gone free, and me done up in love's chain. A single soul and heart as two, apart and yet two, as one or lost, like a spare part, but at what cost? A stolen art, and in my head, a sponge of blue, yet red and heart, a mind of ice, a heart of fire. A breath, a binding, and a single fury of desire. I climb and I shout it loud and proud from the rooftop, and you for two. I want you, I need you, deep into long night undone, or drop until dawn, a new light. Just another love poem. This is called All Your Good Luck at Once. Love will turn me, spurn me, make me feel sadness and joy all at once. And this stretched and swollen heart is full, rack round and dripping red ripe with a force forever new. A muscle of eternity, sinew and a flash of blue. And the edges sparkle, crowd crackle, and a warm light dances on surface warm, around a song of flame, healing all it touches, making me cry out your name. And to feel more alive I can never know, no more than I can ever feel. This is love. A furnace born blade, white hot, slicing through ice at last, a divine device, flowing fast, thawing pain and past. And out of the dream of mirrors, riven deep from roses and rivers that withers the vampire and seeks its seed in fire, a sod and soil exorcismus, until I become the wise witness. We all call forgiveness, and more than rosary or rune or rite, for I am the secret whispered in the lover's night, and you are the word, the name of love's light, love's bird caged in flame. Love's advance is the final glow of a dance, and one last chance for a show of sleepless romance, and maybe all your good luck at once.
Next person up is Ian Spring of Rhymer Books, originally from roughly Derriston and the Gorbals and that sort of area, and then now he's ended up in Perth, which is just exactly the same as Derriston and the Gorbals. Not. Thank you.
Hello, Jim is mistaken as usual. Ian Spring unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. I'm here in his place and I am Simpson Greers, the noted acclaimed Scottish crime writer. Some of you may be familiar with my first book, a volume of short stories called The Foot of the Walk Murders, that was longlisted for a Dagger Award by the Crime Writers Association. And now I am here tonight to introduce you to my second book, which is a massive tome called The Counterfeit Detective. Just for the sake of brevity that Jim insists on, I'm not actually going to read from the book at all. I'm just going to read the back cover and then tell you something about it. this is what the back cover says. Two quotes first of all. Human beings are the only animals that kill for ideas. Lawrence van der Post. And every murder is committed with 1,000 years of premeditation. Milorad Pavic. And then the blurb says, an American professor discovers the diaries of John Ledbury, known as the counterfeit detective, a minor poet who in Victorian London is employed to reply to the mail that comes addressed to Sherlock Holmes at 221 Baker Street, B Baker Street. Through the diaries he unearths a series of baffling unsolved murders. He travels through England and Scotland, but he realises that in order to solve the mystery he has to travel further, back through time itself. Well, as I say, it's quite a long and complex mystery that's set in two continents and two time frames. It also features real people from the Victorian times, even from the 70s, including Herbert Spencer Ashby, who you may or may not have heard of, who compiled the greatest collection of Victorian pornographic literature. And there's quite a lot of Victorian pornography features in it, as well as brothels and a lot of things from the dark underground of London. So bear that in mind if you would like to read it. And in fact, it has been fairly well reviewed so far, but this is my favourite review. By an American, by the way. You would never guess. If you're into weird, disturbing books with graphic sex scenes, mostly sapphic in nature, and a wild, twisty thriller mystery, this book is for you. I can see some expressions of approval there.
I don't know if it's approval.
It is absolutely not for sensitive readers. And it goes on, content warning, graphic murder, graphic sex, violence, sexism, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, suicidal ideation, implied suicide, infidelity, pregnancy, and more. Pregnancy and more?
Kind of ticked every box, I think.
And I have to say, and it doesn't even mention that it's full of literary theory, romantic poetry, and some antiquarian book selling, which is dangerous in itself.
I'm sold.
So I just wanted to introduce you to the book. You can buy it, you can go up the road and buy it at Waterstones for $14.99, but just because I like my friends in Nova Scotia so much, I've got 2 copies that you can have for $5 if you want them here tonight, and I've also got some other contemporary fiction from Weimar Books just for $5 tonight, so I'd like to get rid of them all, so come down and have a look and maybe take them, okay? Thanks.